Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, welcome to SFDGBLR, Salesforce Developer Bangalore Group. And today we have a new topic, which is B2C solutioning and then architecture. So, we have two awesome speakers. Again, Anup, for certain reasons, he couldn't join, but we have Gaj, and he'll be taking care of the whole presentations. And he is a senior manager and global lead for B2C Solution Architect program. So that's from Salesforce. And welcome, Gaj.
Yeah. Thank you, Kishore, for having me. Anup would be joining us for one of our upcoming sessions. He's really excited. He's a regular speaker at developer user groups, being based out of London. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a good coincidence.
Yep. And Anup is also a Salesforce ex MVP, and he sits in London.
Yep.
He is the director for Solution Architect program. So, yep. Go ahead, Gaj. Yes.
Yeah. So I would be in this, coming 1 hour or so, would talk about what is the path to B2C solution architecture. What does a person needs to know when he's preparing for the exam, the kind of prereqs, because B2C solution architecture is actually a pretty vast field, if I may say so. And just to give you a glimpse of that, let me share my screen and move forward. Yeah. So I will continue and I'll take the control of the screen now. Yep. So I definitely need to go around and talk about the forward-looking statement. So during my session, I may or may not talk about roadmap features, etc. But Salesforce being a publicly traded company, so any kind of buying purchase decision which you are making or for which you are advising someone, please make sure that you keep in mind the product or the functionalities currently available. So that is the crux of the forward-looking statement. So please keep that in mind as we move or we go towards any kind of commercial decision. So basically, what is now happening into the B2C solution architecture as in the field is you've got multiple clouds which are out there. People are very much aware about service, marketing, commerce, but then these are just the L1 clouds what we talk about. We have got a lot of interesting plays, which includes Tableau, which includes Sales Cloud, yes, Sales Cloud, and which includes other clouds as well from the Salesforce ecosystem. So I'll be talking about all of those things now. So just to move forward, this is what my larger team look like. We have got Shobi, who leads the multi-cloud architecture. Anup leads the solution architecture. Divya leads the enterprise architecture. Taylor Grimes is responsible for the B2C solution architecture. So if any one of you would want to be or like who are curious about B2B solution architecture, Taylor is the best person to guide you. And then we have got Reza, who takes care of enterprise architecture. And yes, now here in this session, I would be talking about B2C solution architecture and what we can do more with it, how to move forward, what are the kind of resources we have with us, with some sort of real world scenarios, use cases, so and so forth. Yeah. So to move forward, these are the three programs around architecture, B2B, B2C, and enterprise architecture. And today we'll talk about B2C solution architecture. You will be getting this deck, and once you get this deck, please go through the pocket guide as well. This pocket guide is useful because it keeps at one place your your lot of insights, the lot of features, functionalities, the content items out here. So I strongly suggest you to go ahead and go through these pocket guides because they are pretty useful to go around and prepare yourself for the exam. Yeah. So that is one thing I wanted to add. Uh, As we move forward for this solution architecture learning journey, what we have done is we have got multiple avenues where you can go out and prepare yourself for B2C solution architecture. But even before I go into the B2C solution architecture aspect, let me just talk about what kind of landscape we are looking into. Yeah. So I'm going to get up a screen out here. This is what we call as the participatory clouds for B2C solution architecture, which means you need to know about service, need to know about marketing cloud and commerce cloud, but experience cloud, MuleSoft, platform and Tableau do have good amount of presence into any kind of solution which you will be designing. So it's good to have knowledge for these L2 clouds as well. Similarly, if I'm talking about industries, loyalty management, retail and CG, comms and media are one of the few or top industries where you will find a lot of B2C plays, but financial services as well as HLS will also be having a need where you can talk about B2C solution architecture. Okay. Uh, and based upon the implementation part, this is how we look into the experiences and the data presence of these clouds. What does that mean? Tableau is pretty strong on data. It is a awesome analytics and visualization dashboard. It is AI powered. It helps you make decisions. It helps you understand your businesses pretty fast and into a seamless manner. Can collect data from multiple sources. But when it comes to experiences, Service Cloud or Marketing Cloud have got a lot of places where you can generate those experiences. What does an experience mean? Sending someone an email, sending someone a push notification, showing them an ad on Facebook or Google, uh, going out and sending someone an SMS. Someone comes to a website and then you show a pop-up coming on the website, things like that. Powering chatbots like Service Cloud can do that pretty good through digital engagement mode. So as a solution architecture, you need to have a mix of knowledge across how to collect that data, how to build that system of record, how to build that human profile through your data tools, Tableau, MuleSoft, Service Cloud, CDP being few of those, as well as you need to bring those experiences also, that how you can actually build those intuitive emails, show right kind of messaging on the website, so on and so forth. So people on the call, any questions so far on like what you're seeing on the screen in terms of the L1, L2 clouds, what we understand for B2C, as well as the data and experience capabilities. If you have some other kind of experience, yeah, please share with me that no, we feel that that cloud is much more mature in terms of experiences, why it is not here or why it is somewhat below in ranking. I would be keen on listening from your experiences as well.
Yeah, one question from my side. This is Manoj here. I'm mostly working on the Salesforce Communications Cloud, right? And I think now with this whole 5G investment, a lot of investment is coming there. And that's where I think the experience is not mature yet, but we are really trying to accelerate on that front. But that's where my question is, the same data versus experience matrix. Let's say if you want to customize it to a specific vertical, like a telco, and compare it to something like a media.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it now, but what is your suggestion on that?
Okay, so when it comes down to industry aspect, so there are like two things what we can look into, and it could be a good time for me to, yeah. I assume you can view my whiteboard also. Manoj, is my whiteboard visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So when it comes down to industry approach, there are like 2 or 3 aspects you need to keep in mind. What is the industry solution or the industry solution which is coming from Salesforce has to offer? So when I talk about that, we have got media cloud, we have got health cloud, financial services and all. So they in itself or loyalty management. So they in itself have a out of the box or inbuilt functionalities to support the single view of the customer, that if I assume is your data need, or they inbuilt have ways to have connections or integration with our engagement layer. So if it is about comms, and we're talking about some ways to have a better engagement layer being created, then what I advise you is yes, how to design an architecture wherein you have between, say, like your comms systems with interaction studio, a connector being set up. And if you're looking for some way of real-time interaction or real-time integration, you might have to think of other integration options as well. But yes, the idea is how to use the allied products to support that level of orchestration. So number one is going for the industry solution, figuring out what is there out of the box and take it up from there. And number two is look into the integration patterns what exist. So the integration patterns are in two ways. One is you are looking at one to one kind of integration pattern, which means one org can connect to multiple orgs, one Salesforce org can connect to multiple CDP orgs, things like that. What kind of topology we are looking at in the sort of integration patterns here, or what is the frequency for data being shared across system. So frequency of data, I would say, sharing. That itself becomes a critical aspect. A lot of time customers ask us that, hey, can we make it real time? But then our question as an architect should be that, why do you really need a system to be real time? Why can't it be batch wise mode? Why can't it be a nightly batch, so that we can actually have a more robust architecture being built out? But if it is a use case where you would want to have it into a real-time manner, an example could be something like behavioral triggers, that someone comes onto your website and they are bouncing off the website after coming there for 5 seconds. You would want to show them a push notification saying that, hey, you are leaving this site, we can give you 20% discount if you make a purchase in next 30 minutes. So there, yes, less than 10 seconds kind of frequency would be required to make this play happen. But suppose it is all about some sort of master record being created where data is coming from multiple sources, and you would want to create that master schema, a nightly batch would make sense. So this is a long answer to your question, Manoj, but if it talking about in the comms or any other industries for matter, I as an architect would start from these two places. There are like number of more points to consider. I'll actually talk about those as well. But industry solution out of the box offerings as well as integration patterns is something we can look at. Yeah. Does that answers your question to an extent, Manoj?
Yeah, makes sense. I'll let you go with the flow. More some questions, but maybe towards the end.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But wherever possible, request you to bring that slight industry specific flavor as well.
Yes, we'll try to talk about that as well, because in my notebook I did had those kind of pointers being mentioned. Yeah, we will do that. But yeah, thanks for getting up that industry flavor, because for Salesforce this is where we see a lot of focus upon that, how we can go with an industries approach. We can talk about it is not just service marketing. Service Cloud can be or is being delivered for any of the customer right now, but how we can make it even more customized when it comes down to travel and hospitality. That's becomes a pretty unique use case for us. So yes, I mean, that would be my advice, that if you are looking at a career progression, looking to become a solution architect, be it B2B or B2C, knowing the products is yes, that is the base level foundation, but having an industry focus is something that would be a big differentiator into your profile. And we will also look into how you can build that differentiator, focus on uh, focus on the industries aspect as well. Yeah. So this was about when I was talking about B2C, the cloud and industry aspect. Okay. What?
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one question.
Yeah, sure.
It's like you have told that it's a solution architect. So can we can use this B2C in our technical part? Like I'm not understand that because I want to become a technical architect. So can we relate this to solution architect to what? Yeah, in the part of technical architect, can we connect this B2C in technical architect also?
Yes, we can do that. And let me quickly take out, or in fact, pull a screen that would really, address your question. Uh, I really don't want to, go with that approach.
Okay.
Uh, I tell you something different, but just give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay.
Because you asked a very good question, and it actually goes into the direction of we have got architecture. So what is a basic difference between a technical architecture and a solution architecture? So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what actually, trying to pull and show you the difference. So 1 second. So in the meantime, basically, how we go forward is when you are talking about, say, like solution architecture, what you're doing is you are designing a solution. You are
Okay.
looking to the considerations. Okay, here should I use marketing cloud transactional emails, or should I use commerce cloud transactional emails, or should I use any other way to talk about? If I'm talking about chatbots, should I make it sit on Interaction Studio, or make it sit on digital the digital engagement on Service Cloud? If I need to help my service agent, build a profile, what would be the way to move forward? So that is where the solution architecture comes into picture. Whereas a technical architect, what he typically do is that they will be, okay, I just put the wrong pen and I was trying to write on my board. So yeah, but that technical architecture will actually go and able to implement the design what we have just now created onto the solution side. So a solution architecture would be designing those solutions. It will be understanding that how they can improve the customer experience. For them, they can go through a multi-cloud approach to actually go and see, okay, just do that again. They'll
Okay.
go with
Okay.
a multi-cloud
Understand.
approach.
Understand. Understand.
Okay. And for the technical architecture, it's all about how to implement it and how to go around, make use of platform and get it down to a reality. So that's where both the kind of architecture comes into picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question if someone has? Yep. If not, then we can quickly go
I think
on.
somebody asked, now we have B2C and B2B and Commerce Cloud also. Is the future Commerce Cloud will have both B2B, B2C combined, or is it something different?
You're asking about Commerce Cloud?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we have B2B commerce that was like, I mean, that originated from CloudCraze acquisition. And we have B2C commerce, which comes under, I mean, our commerce cloud, which came from Demandware. So in the terms of place, B2C commerce comes under the B2C solution architecture. And Taylor, when she talks about B2B solution architecture, she talks about B2B commerce. So both of these, lines fall under different kind of what I can say, different kind of areas, or different kind of solution architecture streams. Yeah.
Is the term that Commerce Cloud, when we refer, we don't refer as a common, is it like it always comes as a B2B Commerce Cloud and B2C Commerce Cloud? There is no generic Commerce Cloud.
Yeah. Why? Because like when you talk about Commerce Cloud, they both are different animals in itself. B2C is all about retail, like any kind of website you're going to, which is like a retail e-commerce website, will be built on B2C commerce. B2B commerce is for the distributors who would want to go around and check their inventory and would want to go forward. So a B2B commerce usage would be something like Amazon has built a site for their vendors or for their you know uh, multiple sellers. So it is all about a seller experience on the B2B commerce side, whereas B2C commerce is all about retail or e-commerce experience. So hence we don't kind of, talk both the, I mean, take both these names or into a very generic fashion. We always call it B2C commerce or B2B commerce to make it very, very clear that which kind of segment we are addressing. Yeah,
Correct.
makes sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Cool. So now what is now happening is I would want to show you the way we can look into the B2C search and architecture and the depth it actually goes to. So what you can see right now is our team sees a solution architect to be proficient into one of the three areas. In fact, not one of the three areas, but in the three areas, what we are seeing there, he should be knowing about systems of record, systems of engagement, like how to engage with a shopper or a person coming onto the website, and system of conversion, how to make them buy something from your site. Scale and performance, how to make the scale better for your B2C site, because that is very, very important. You would not want your site to actually break down when you're seeing a huge traffic. You would want to make the emails flow or the SMSs flow with the right kind of latency. That is, if you scheduled an email to go at 9 a.m., it should not take till 9:30. Emails that are actually kind of going into a throttled manner. They should flow into like by 9:01. Everyone should have got their email, something like that, and talk about solutions. So I'm showing you into a concise manner this particular diagram. Let me just show you just to show you what kind of depth we go to, what would this complete diagram would look like, right? So this is what it actually stands for, what a B2C solution architect should be going and having know-how. But to take it step by step, I can go to 2 levels and talk about their systems. I just spoke about record, to create that golden record, that human being. Gaj came through email address, Gaj came through single sign-on, Gaj had an OTP. So Gaj signed on through three mediums. But how can we actually still show Gaj as a human onto my record, my database, and connect all the other activities onto one place? So it's all about creating that system of record. We can use CDP for this. We can use Service Cloud for that. We can use any other way. So there are multiple ways to create that single source of truth. Then about engagement and conversion, which is about shopper experience, and orchestration is showing the right kind of message on the right kind of channel. So it could be like a push notification on phone, on the website, onto your smartwatch. So they're like different kind of ways you can show the messages. Then it's about skill and performance. So we know about how to ingest that data and go for that bigger scale. Solutions are important because you need to have a better requirement gathering ways to create those solutions. Look into personas, that I am creating a solution for a shopper persona, service agent integration, or someone who is building the experience on an experience cloud powered site. So if I talk about say like service agent, these are like few of the sample solutions which we have listed down, which a solution architect can go in and work as well. So a service agent able to select the product from a commerce cloud card and trigger email from SFMC. This is what a solution which would fit into a B2C multi-cloud architecture. So what would this need? I should be knowing service console very well, service lightning console. I should be knowing marketing cloud. Uh, I should be knowing the triggered definitions, how I can put them on marketing cloud. I should be knowing how to connect service and commerce cloud so that I can have full visibility on what they're on the cart and make this solution happen. So this design would need, proficiency on all the three clouds I've just now mentioned. Talking about industry orientation, we have kind of focused on the top three industries being financial services, uh, retail and consumer goods, and health cloud. Now, these are the scenarios for which we are trying to build solutions, which we can then later pass on to the community like here and ask them to, okay, these are the steps to implement this onto your org. And once you implement this kind of a scenario, you'll get a better understanding on how you can go around and report on customer lifetime value. So this would include a bit of Datorama and a bit of Tableau to look into, okay, fine, my customer is purchasing through multiple places. How can I bring on that data into one place and make it happen? Right. So this is what an industry orientation would look like. And lastly, the B2C solution architecture would often put you into a tricky situation wherein you can see that, hey, I can achieve the same outcome through multiple ways. So like recommendations, I can say we have got interaction studio recommendations, we have got marketing cloud recommendations, we have got commerce cloud Einstein. So how you as an architect understand or figure out that from which place do I need to go and pull these recommendations, right? Like which Einstein AI recommendation would be the best suited for this use case. It would happen at some places IS would be better, at some place marketing cloud would be suitable, or at some place commerce cloud would be a better choice. So that's where a solution architect needs to apply their knowledge and pick up the right set of products, right? And lastly, governance is all about compliance, security, uh, make use of cross-cloud consent tracking, which means Northern Trail Outfitters, which is our fictitious brand, to show demos from the Salesforce side. So Northern Trail Outfitters has got offices or shops in Europe, in America, and in Australia. How do I make sure that someone who have unsubscribed in Europe but have said yes for America region still gets email in America but doesn't get an email uh, sent from European stores? So I need to make sure about that consent tracking. How do I make sure that someone had said no on Commerce Cloud, that consent get flows into marketing and service? So he need not actually multiple times express that he don't want to receive any more messages. So that's where the governance part comes in. So the short answer, B2C solution architecture is pretty wide, as you can see in terms of the L1, L2 clouds, L1, L2 industries, and the 3S approach, which is systems, scale, and performance and solutions. It is pretty wide, but there's a good way to start moving into this direction, which is going through the partner learning camp courses and preparing for the cert. Whenever you write the cert is a different issue at all. I mean, that's not what you're focusing at, but you preparing for the architecture path is even more important, and that knowledge more important. That knowledge would actually take you much more ahead than focusing on any other aspect so far. So any question around what you're seeing onto this mind map, or what you might have seen onto the previous screens like this? Any questions from the group?
Yeah, Manoj here again. So in the mind map, there should also be a cost angle, right? Or a cost neuron, because at the end of the day, we're also talking to a lot of customers who also look at licenses cost. I'm sure if all the licenses available, we can design an effective solution. But the real challenge in the real world is designing a solution under cost constraints.
Yes, what you've said is absolutely correct, because that often becomes a deal breaker, because multiple times I've seen that people would recommend a middleware to get something done as for integration, but client would say, no, we don't want to pay for a middleware. Do you have a free of cost connector between these two clouds and still get a seamless, frictionless experience? So I totally understand that part, Manoj. So being into solution architecture aspect, our goal is to provide you all the options. Now, since you are onto the client side, you have got a better visibility into the pockets of the client, what they can afford. Because I can give you an example here. Cross cloud, yeah. So if I talk about integrations, yeah. So if I talk about integrations, we can do it through APIs. Might take a huge development effort. We can do it through MuleSoft. It will add cost at some point of time. We can rely on out-of-the-box connectors, which might come free of cost. So it is a very descriptive answer based upon what the client is requiring and the kind of gold standard they would want to achieve. So to be very honest, we don't have a representation based upon the cost that if you are trying to address an SMB or a particular client who have got cost restrictions, what architecture you need to kind of suggest them. What we can do is we can definitely suggest you architecture that this is something which will work absolutely like a gold, and I can show you that example also, which will work in all the situations, and which will help you seamless data flow. But that would end up buying you not all the but many of the SKUs from the Salesforce side. So not every client might be willing to go around and make that kind of investment. Totally understandable. But yeah, I mean, not that direction we can actually go and suggest, to be honest.
Just wanted your opinion, right? Because the future career direction I am thinking of is primarily, yes, this what you show is the solution architecture, but just have a lens of cost over it, right? So what I'm trying to do right now is scenario of a low cost bucket. This is the solution architecture. Medium cost bucket. This is the solution architecture. So that scenario modeling from a cost lens, but the base being the solution architecture that we use as the collateral to pitch to clients in workshops, etc.
You know what, Manoj, on this aspect, let me show you this slide, and then I can add more colors onto this. So this is a architectural diagram, which includes almost everything. And this is a marketing cloud centric B2C architecture diagram. Okay. When I talk about marketing cloud centric, you've got CDP in the center. So there is a possibility that your customer don't have CDP. They don't have Tableau, they don't have IS, they just have core, they just have messaging and journeys and B2C commerce. So what would be the situation here? So if you're trying to create low cost architectural patterns, or the best case architectural patterns, what I would advise you is to start from this particular diagram, and then say remove MuleSoft, for example. The client might say, I would want to use B2C commerce and service connector. I would want to use service marketing cloud connector, and let service cloud become a single source of truth. And I'm okay with batch wise integration layer. So once you actually remove MuleSoft, you will understand what all is possible into this diagram. and how it can be done, right? So that is, the kind of judgment you need to take place. What I can do offhand is like do a session with you, Manoj, and talk more onto that aspect. But whenever the term cost comes in, the account executive from Salesforce will actually add much more value to this discussion, because they have got the accurate information as well as the up-to-date information on what is the cost patterns we are seeing and the kind of value moreover into the whole business. Cool. Does that work for you?
Sure. As you said, right? It'll be good to have maybe I see you're on LinkedIn. We'll see how best we can connect after this as well.
Yeah, sure. So let me show you one last thing that will help you a bit with the costing aspect. Mm. So
Hey, if I may add to
yeah.
Manoj's question, so my opinion is slightly different. Okay, so from my experience that I've seen, ideally we shouldn't be limiting it by cost. Manoj, the reason why I'm saying that is, you as an architect, you are expected to provide all possible solutions, right? And based on what you said as well, the base one should have all possible solutions. Cost comes as a later factor, and it also differs by region. It differs by by the AE that is there, the type of customer that you have. So it can work to the customer's favor or it may not work, right? So we shouldn't be limiting solutions by cost, I would say. The moment you put in cost as a factor there, people will always go for the low cost one, and they may not even consider the high cost ones. So that is one of my opinions, but I'll probably open it out for others if they have another feedback.
Yeah, and yeah, and just one last point I would like to add to what Shibu just now mentioned. So you would be seeing a calculator right now, Manoj and Shibu. Yeah. Are you seeing a app right now?
Yes. Yeah.
So like what happens is my client might say, no, email marketing cloud is too costly for me and all. What we can talk about is, okay, you're going to send out say like close to 1 million emails every year. And let's assume the deliverability is 95%. And by industry standards, the open rate is close to 18%. And the open rate is close to 9%. And the conversion rate is close to 10%. And basically upon your business, because that sale is more critical, that based upon your business, every conversion, suppose you are selling perfumes, which is like relatively a high cost item, I'm just adding it as like $200. So what is the kind of benefit you can actually get from this platform into like small, medium, large category? So a lot of time it depends upon what is the business you are interacting with, as well as what is that they are trying to go out and achieve from this solution. So at upfront, if we talk about the cost aspect, they just might say that no, this is not a budget. But if you try to show them the value they will be getting out of the implementation, that could open a whole new possibilities. Yeah, that's all I want to share with everyone on the value aspect as well. Yeah, over to you, Shibu and Manoj. Yeah, sorry to cut you through.
No, this actually helps, guys. So I mean, see, Manoj made a fair point. I'm not saying the cost is not a factor. It often comes up a lot, but speaking purely from an architect perspective, what I was saying is if you don't limit it by cost to begin with, at some point in time, once you have laid out all the different options, then you can bring in, the customer will definitely come back and say, okay, what are the constraints that we need to apply on this, right? Then you can start okay, looking at, okay, out of the options that we have presented, do you really want the performance, and these are your critical requirements? If so, certain things in the architecture you may not be able to remove. For instance, if you're looking at unifying the customer from multiple sources, CDP is a must have, right? Unless they have some other tool that that can do it, right? So then if that is going to be the central, they're saying, okay, yeah, upfront if you tell the cost, they'll say, oh no, we don't need CDP, but then they'll say we still need to do unification. So it all depends on like, the each case to case on each of the customers. And then if you show the entire architecture, what is possible, you can start limiting it based on their constraints. I hope that helps.
Yeah,
Manoj,
totally agree, right? That must have versus nice to have, that distinction after your base is set. Yep.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Thanks,
Go ahead.
Chibu. Colors to what we're discussing. So yeah, anyone else has any points? Yeah, we'll be open to like just how Shibu added few points and added, a whole new dimension to what we were discussing. So any other point someone would want to mention, one of the previous experiences, anything? Okay, cool. If you're good, can we move on to the next section? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Great. One small, the experience cloud, right? What type of licenses will it be? Customer license or partner license? Is it customer licenses we are using?
It is as per the kind. So experience cloud was nothing but community cloud. On which we added the CMS layer to go around and achieve more functionalities. So it is actually the license comes as per the communities, like how many communities do you want to create and the users you would want to have on those communities. So it is as per the customer.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So now what I want to talk about, just to come back. So now we have spoken a lot about B2C. So I assume it will give you a fair bit of idea that it's going to be a extensive journey, but you can kind of make it structured by bringing down to small modules, small pieces. So you might say that, hey, I just need to focus on the systems, and even in systems, I need to focus on system of record first, which means I need to understand the data strategy, the identity management right now. When I go to data part, I need to look into these 4 aspects first. So the idea is break down your whole learning path, and that would kind of give you a good base, good foundation to start from. If you are a solution centric person, you might want to jump into solutions first, look into personas and see that what is required to achieve one of these solutions, and then work backward. So you can craft your own journey, craft your own learning path. But what we are suggesting is that we have got a curriculum designed which can help you achieve that. So let me bring over the sources which you can look into, and we will be adding the links of all the resources which I'm showing you right now into the description of the YouTube video. So you'll be able to kind of look at it once again. So the very first thing, or the very first page I would advise you to keep bookmarked is this. This is B2C Solution Architect Vidyard page. What we do is whatever kind of office hour we conduct, we go out and upload it onto the Vidyard hub. So you can go out and check what new videos have got published onto the same page. You can also get multiple links of our other resources, which means we've got a GitHub site on which we have got the course details, the labs details, so on and so forth. So this is something which we keep on updating. Like, I mean, being GitHub site, real quick to update. We can, I mean, what new session we announce, we put it here. So if you would want to go and register for the office hours, you can find the link here, and you can register those office hours as well, right, which are ongoing right now. So all those things are there. And the next part is the partner community, because whatever we go and present onto our office hours, we also share the decks, the slides for the same. So you need to run the partner community, and if you're on partner community, you will be able to download those slide decks and other things. So you are seeing this mind map right now, and if you would want to get this mind map, we have shared this already out there on partner community. So yes, I'll just show you where you can find it. So you just need to, yeah, so this is what the uh, description of the mind map looks like. So we have put it out here. This is from the 9th March recording. I'll just upload the other 2 recordings and decks also. But we are putting the slide decks here, so you can go out, download them, and go through these decks as well. Okay. And the other part is the curriculum, which is nothing but partner learning camp. So you need to be on partner community in order to access this PLC courses. They're pretty extensive because you got some 29-30 courses built out, and they're into all directions. So we have covered data strategy, orchestration, CDP, Commerce Cloud, so and so forth. Yeah. So that would be one thing. So this is the solution architect. And these are the courses, 29 courses we have, because this one is not assigned now. So service cloud, service excellence, data strategy, personalization, segmentation. This is a good place to start to any of these uh, kind of courses or any of the kind of path we are looking at. Yeah. Okay.
Are we having any future plan to bring it out to the outside partner community?
As a safe harbor statement, yes, it would eventually come out of partner community. I cannot comment on the timelines, but as I said, it's like a safe harbor statement. It should come out soon. That's all what I can share right now. So
understand. No, yeah, no worries. Because I keep getting asked the question quite a lot, like from team members and others as well. The community that like, is it only accessible to partners? Can we not have it outside? So
no, like it would become accessible to the Trailhead members soon. That's what the plan is, and soon we will hear an update on this.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Gaj.
Thank you. Yeah.
Gaj, how about the decks? I mean, like for the partners, I mean, the companies who are not the partners, right? So the decks will be provided outside as well?
Unfortunately, no. You know what?
Yeah, because this is only the PC what we have.
Yeah, partner community is the only place, because you know what? Sometimes what happens is, like we have got, like, number one, we cannot share anything out external through any other medium. So if I need to upload a deck, I always upload it on partner community and then share the link through an email. So that is the guidance what we have for sharing the content outside Salesforce. And secondly, the other good thing which happens here is that partners are under a certain NDA. So anyone who's accessing these decks and slides, when they go and access, they're automatically going through an NDA. So we are pretty much sure, and we are a bit flexible to share more on these decks as we go on. If I need to share this, this would be open to the public, to the world, and then we need to be very much careful about what kind of content. Is it totally internal facing? Is it about any kind of safe harbor statement we are making about the product which is going to come out, so and so forth. So that's why, I mean, just like forward-looking statement is the must for all our slides, partner community is what the must for us to go out and share the content through. That's the only medium what we have.
I will discuss more on how to publish this with our community group.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So that's gonna be the one thing. So just coming back to the implementation, the deck which I was sharing, landscape. So yeah, so now you can see very well understand that if you would have to, you know, kind of implement say like customer onboarding kind of a scenario, what you would require, Marketing Cloud to send them an email. You would require Core to kind of store their information coming from some place, and yes, these two places would be the, I mean, these two clouds or these two products would be the bare minimum you would require to get started onto a customer onboarding journey, right? Then CDP, etc. are like good to have if your data is coming from multiple places. You would want to have analytics on top of it. You would want to kind of, activate those segments onto other places, unify them. You need to reconcile that data. Then CDP comes into picture, but with core and messaging and journeys marketing cloud, you can still activate or still design a customer onboarding journey. So with that, I can actually show a poll right away. Kishore, is this a good time to show a poll, or would you want to like wait for some time?
We can do that, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just pause my screen just to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. I'm doing it for the very first time, so just excuse me if in case it doesn't go the way expected. Okay. So you would be seeing a poll right now in front of you. It's like a quiz, right? And
What you will have to do is like open your phone or like tabs, maybe in a Chrome. Then just use the polyv.com/B2CSA.
yeah, B2C Search
Chrome or like browser, any browser. And once after that, you will see these questions. Okay, so maybe you can use the polls and then answer it over here. Yeah.
Great. So Kishore, are we having any goodies for people answering the correct?
That will be a surprise. Yes. Let's see how things goes on. Maybe we can give some surprise for them. Yes.
Great, great. So yeah, I mean, that's an extra incentive, guys. So please go ahead. These two results are the one which I was doing during my testing phase. So please, go out and you'll get to know if people are actually opening this link, they're actually answering it or not. We have some 20 plus folks on the call right now, so it would be great. You can participate.
Can you please give us the link?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's on the top.
Yes, but it's hard to copy.
No, I've just put it polyv.com/BTSA.
Okay. Yeah, it is in the chat. Yeah, thanks Manoj, thanks Kishore. We got 7, I mean not 7, but 5 folks who have tried out, and we'll just wait till 13 or 15, and then we'll discuss about like what could be the possible answer. So what set of Salesforce products you would recommend in your solution design to achieve abandoned cart scenario? Okay, so abandoned cart is someone have added to some products to their cart, but they just disappeared. They didn't went ahead and completed their purchase. I do it a lot of time, and with all this discounts and offers going around, cashback, it's always in the back of the mind that have I chosen the right offer, right card, right merchant, so on and so forth. So yeah, cool. So let us check the responses now. Abandoned cart, which means that we need to go and look at the Commerce Cloud website, check what is there onto the cart, and send them an email. And once the email goes through, we need to understand and keep the data into Service Cloud that what kind of email has actually gone out. So I would say marketing, service, and commerce would be the right option out there. Why? Because like I just now mentioned that we need to go to, okay, I should actually lock it. Okay, it's locked now. So suddenly people realize that, yes.
It's fact that.
Okay, my bad. I didn't logged it.
No worries. Go ahead.
I will remember in the next time. But yeah, So in fact, we had a similar discussion around abandoned cart scenario in one of my other session, and this is how it looked like. So I was just talking to one of the other SME and talking about abandoned cart scenario, that someone had added product to the Commerce Cloud cart, and they would want to show those cart recommendations onto the email. How can they do it? So we discussed about, okay, how you can actually set up core, set up a contact ID, go around, use collect.js on the Commerce Cloud side, find out what was abandoned, what was browsed and left, take that catalog, bring it to Marketing Cloud, put them into a data extension, that behavioral data, and inject it into a journey and send it off. So it's a short way to explain that how you can do it, the abandoned cart scenario. But that's how a solution architect would be thinking when he will be going out and recommending someone a particular what I can say, a particular design to get it done. Okay, so that is what about the design for abandoned cart. Any questions so far on what you're seeing on the whiteboard, the abandoned cart or the newsletter setup, what we call it as? Cool.
So in terms of different scenarios like these, right? Do you have a repository somewhere? Like, how did you come up with this question? I'm sure you should have had a list where you came up with these, right?
Yeah. I mean, these are something what we listen a lot from the field, or when we are actually selling our products, we are seeing these as a critical place, that client is buying marketing, commerce, marketing, commerce, service, etc. But abandoned cart is something what they will be doing for sure once they implement these three products together. So I mean, that is some bit of intel we get otherwise. So yeah. And about the repository, yes, we are into the process. We're talking to like number of more number of SMEs who can come with me, volunteer their time. We will be giving them the credit and work with me on creating these solutions, because as you can see, this is something which is on the priority for me to create this out and give it into a step-by-step manner. Although abandoned cart scenario is already a part of a solution kit, which is on help.salesforce.com, but we want to add more colors to it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am creating those repositories now one by one, and taking help from the community at large to support me and create this as well. Yeah.
So I don't know, guys, I know you mentioned that right now towards the end, but I don't know if larger community knows about the solution kits. So team, if you go into just Google Salesforce solution kits, you will see a set of different scenarios where you can actually see some of these. Like abandoned cart is one, but there are other different types of B2C scenarios where you can use the different types of solution. So it's a small set of help documents that gives you an overview of each of these scenarios, and definitely abandoned cart is one of them. Very, very helpful in case you're planning to go into this solution architect stream.
Yeah. What Shivu mentioned was bang on, and these are pretty intense solution kits wherein they will go step by step, talk about what you can do. So like turn abandoned cart into complete sales. So if I can just show you what kind of instructions you are getting the blueprint architecture, what you need to do onto the Commerce Cloud side, what you need to do on the Marketing Cloud side, how does the workflow looks like. So yes, I mean, must recommended kind of resource this is. If you're trying to implement this, please have a look at solution kit first. You will get a lot of advice and a lot of guidance through these solution kits. Yeah, thanks Shibu for bringing this up. This is
and these solution kits are majorly for only this B2B and C, right? Not for all the products what we have in Salesforce.
Yeah, I mean, that's what even my experience has been, that these solution
Yeah.
kits are largely coming from that area or that team. I mean, I am not aware about any other solution kits apart from what we are seeing right now.
Cool. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, so communication stores, it's like all about marketing cloud,
Hmm.
commerce, B2C commerce, omni-channel, retail, service cloud, lighting scheduler, B2B commerce, B2C commerce. So yeah, it is largely around those areas only. But yeah, let's just see when we can actually get some more solution kits from other clouds also. It's a terrific initiative by the team who is doing this.
Got it.
Cool. Any other questions we have? Thanks, Shivu, for this for advising this to bring this up. I just have a couple of more questions to share, and probably then we can conclude this session. But if you don't have anything else, maybe I can bring up the second question as well. Second question on the poll. Yeah.
Yeah, but screen is freezed. Jagat.
Yeah. I was just trying to bring up the second question. So this is the one. Just need to activate this. Activate, present. Same link, pollev.com/B2C B2C Solution Architect. Maybe I should, yeah, I just, uh, pause my screen. So people just take a guess.
And guys, the screen is paused and it's not the right answer. Okay.
Yeah, what I should do is
Yeah.
play, yeah, now it should be fine. I'm on to a different screen now. So please go ahead and have a look at it. Within 10 seconds, we'll just close it. We'll close the response. Yeah, we have got 17 responses so far. So basically, what products can a B2C solution architect refer to design a solution? Only service commerce marketing, and CDP, there's no such limitation. So basically the answer is no such limitation. Yeah, no such limitation, because it's ultimately about the play what we are trying to achieve, right? So it's not that you will always use commerce only to go around to sell something. There's something called high velocity sales. So because of this pandemic, a lot of the sales activities or sales reps are using digital mode to go out and sell. So plus uh, sales cloud plus uh, marketing becomes a very strong play, right? Which is not there. Or there was a play which was talking about FSL, field service lightning plus marketing. So field service lightning field service lightning plus service. So field service lightning folks go to a customer's location, fix an issue, but then they identify an opportunity for cross-sell, upsell. They let the service cloud team know, and a service rep or a sales rep calls the customer. So FSL plus service rep is also an interesting use case. So there's no such limitation what we should be thinking about when we're trying to build a B2C solution. It can be into any of the direction. It just has to be scalable and be robust, and that's it, right? So that's gonna be the second question. And maybe since we're into a flow, I can bring up the third poll as well. Can activate this, can present this, and yeah. So you are seeing a question. You are seeing a question around Datorama. So Datorama supports visualization for just for Marketing Cloud, for marketing and commerce, and for commerce. Like, what do you think? Okay, we've got 12 responses so far. Maybe we can lock and show the responses. So Datorama is not just for Marketing Cloud, but it is also supporting visualization for Commerce Cloud as well. So for e-commerce activities, you can actually have, now we have a connector between Commerce Cloud and Marketing Cloud, and it can show recommendation. I mean, it can show dashboards based upon purchases done on Commerce Cloud. So as a solution architect, the other key aspect is constantly, staying on top of things and figuring out like what new connectors are coming out, and what is that you need to be aware about. So that was something about what can Datorama do and support visualization. So that is about the thing, and let me come back to my slide. So if we have spoken about the learning journey, the time required, this is the truth mountain, what we call as. So if you go to the PLC course, you'll see a lot of, I mean, not lot of, but all of these, courses out there. So like I said, it's a good place to start from. That what is that is, not found anywhere. We have got everything at one place, and so you can just go through these courses and complete them one by one. Uh, this is what a B2C solution architect path looks like. We have got 3 prereqs: app builder, integration architect, and marketing cloud email specialist. So if you have, I mean, once you have cleared these 3 certs, then only you can write B2C solution architect cert. But like I've, very clearly mentioned in the beginning also, cert is just one of the way to get the knowledge. Our goal is to how we can go to multiple mediums like PLC, Vidyard site, partner community, and still being able to reach up to that level. So it's not an issue that you are a Commerce Cloud developer, you have good knowledge of B2C, why you can't actually excel on B2C solution. So you are very much there. So you can actually go and prepare yourself to get onto this path. Yep. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll just go one by one every slide, and you will be getting these slides. I will pass it on to Kishore. And Kishore, if you have any way to pass it on to the end medium, it will be great. Sorry, the community members, it would be great.
Yeah, I will do that. Yes.
Yep. So you will get these slides, right? The B2C solution architect, as you can see, includes a lot of these certs, which means these are good to have certs. You're not saying that solution architect needs to be these, 12 certs or APs certified. It is good to have. What is, must have is the knowledge across these systems, so that they can better articulate the solutions. They can better understand how the solutions work together. But this is what, the what I can say, best case scenario for a solution architect to be knowing all of these uh, certs and passing them. But there are like a lot of single cloud and other role-based credentials which can prepare you for the solution architect path as well. So like I told in the very beginning also, you go to the mind map, pick up one thing, you pick up orchestration, and then you suppose you pick up engagement and conversion. So being into engagement and conversion, you need to know about order management. So come here, do order management AP. You go to IS Interaction Studio, you do something from there, and yeah, create your own way to get the knowledge required for the B2C path. Right? Someone asked a difference between B2B and B2C. So for B2C, we have a path of app builder, integration, and then email. For a B2B, we have got a different path. And similarly, for a technical architect, it's a different journey altogether. So this is what we typically suggest someone who is asking about how to become B2C SA or B2B SA. These certs will give you the knowledge or the path required to move ahead. Yeah. And if you just scan these QR codes, you'll be taken to our PLC curriculum. So that's a cool way to, actually go and keep them bookmarked, etc. But in your description also, you're going to get the links of everything what I've just now spoken about, and like all the resources which you need to know. Yeah. We're almost at the end of our session, guys. So any questions you have? And any question why? Because we will have 2 more sessions, and this time we'll jump deep into the data strategy part. We'll into single source of truth, things like that, which will help you understand better that how to implement these aspects. Like today, we spoke about what exactly is B2C world all about. In the next session, we'll talk about the data piece from the B2C. And the third session, we'll talk about the solution part of B2C and how to design a solution. So yeah, that's all from my side. Any questions which are pending or like which you would want to ask now?
Just want to understand, like, integration certification is mandatory, right? Like marketing, I got like as a B2C will do a lot of marketing. So trying to understand, is it like we have 2 more complex integration in B2C compared to B2B, that is why integration architect is mandatory here, or is just like knowledge purpose?
Integration becomes actually, a bigger piece for B2C because we've just now seen that a B2C play will not just be talking about 2 to 3 clouds, but multiple clouds. And even then those clouds are coming from a different, background. What I mean is Interaction Studio came from Evergage, Tableau was acquired, Datorama was acquired, Commerce Cloud came from Demandware, MuleSoft was acquired. So unlike B2B where everything sits on core, in B2C, there are a lot of pieces which are outside the core. So having the knowledge of integration architecture sets you up for how to integrate these systems efficiently. That's why you are seeing integration architecture as a part of B2C solution architecture path.
Okay. Then my next question, probably maybe you cover it next session, or I don't know. Like when we say the integration, right? I see that MuleSoft is also there here. Is it like inbuilt integration mechanism we do provide as a part of special package here, or we are going to utilize more of a MuleSoft?
More of a MuleSoft. I mean, just repeat the last part of the sentence. This last part, did you mention MuleSoft or?
Yeah, MuleSoft, because sometimes we get across the APIs, standard APIs, so they automatically take care of the integrations as well using an REST or the SOAP mechanism. So when we get a MuleSoft, is it a MuleSoft versus the APIs? I just wanted to understand.
Okay, so if it is like MuleSoft, then it's largely about you're getting a middleware into the picture. And in MuleSoft, you've got 3 kind of APIs, process, experience, and system APIs. So that way you will be through experience API, you would want to showcase and push notification onto say any of the device. So their experience API comes into picture. Processes, suppose you want to set up a shipment notification and all. That's where the process APIs comes into picture, and system APIs will talk to your multiple Salesforce or non-Salesforce products. So if you have MuleSoft, you will be using MuleSoft APIs. If your client doesn't have MuleSoft as a product within their product stack, then you will use your other REST SOAP APIs or use connectors to get forward. But the integration would be very much be driven either by MuleSoft or any of the connectors or API based approach, like you can see here. So like we don't have MuleSoft anywhere here. They all have connectors talking to each other, and you would have to set up those connectors and understand how those connectors are getting data in and out of systems and the frequency as well.
Got it. Thanks.
Gaj, if I may add to this question. So see, I know the ideal scenario, like, can you go back to the other slide where you showed the diagram, the marketing B2C architecture?
Okay. Yeah, just one second.
Yeah. So I think that was Raj who asked the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Raj, like now, and probably to some of the others also who are asking as well, the importance of integration. See, what we have shown here is like, it is the ideal architecture if you are looking at everything from a Salesforce ecosystem, but it's not always that way, right? No, so it's good for us to know the cross cloud architecture. Sometimes, like now, you might have customers who might say like, okay, they will probably have a different portal for commerce, like it's nothing to do with Salesforce, and we might have like sales, service, and marketing and interaction, right? In that particular case, you still want to know how the entire integration works. So sometimes you may have to resort to non-connector kind of integration where you might have to rely on APIs, custom integrations, things like that. So that's where that whole thing becomes very important.
Yeah. So, I mean, exactly. I mean, you are kind of bang on, and that's where, you know what, Shibu, we spoke about these 4 approaches when we talk about integration. So now, as an architect, you would be aware, okay, since my Commerce Cloud or my commerce website is sitting on Adobe, so maybe I don't have the luxury of connectors like commerce and Datarama connector or commerce or service cloud kind of connectors. A middleware becomes a requirement there, or how can I use any out of the box connectors to get it answered? But yes, the answer would be one of these 4 to go out, and or the solution would be one of these 4 to go out to be used into the design what we are creating between multiple clouds, what are there into the solution which has come for us to design.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Great. So yeah, so this was largely what we wanted to cover into today's session. Thanks a lot for being such a patient audience for almost 1.5 hour long session. And I would really encourage you all to come forward for the other 2 sessions also, because that's where you will be able to understand, because we spoke a lot about a lot of things that sometimes can kind of become overwhelming as well. But in the next session, we'll see, okay, fine, how to go into a step-by-step approach and design a data model when we have, say, like service only, when we have service plus CDP, or when we have like MuleSoft. So yeah, that's where we can actually go in and look at. Yep. Any last set of questions for us to look at? Mama. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Gaj. It was a great session, and yeah, we will have technical sessions going forward for next 2 weeks. That's continuous weeks. We'll see how do we have, or like how do we take that in more interactive, and then let's see we will do that in a better way.
तेव्हा म्हणत होता बन पिपरीचे पण आहेत पोरं कोणतरी